How many podcasts is what is this our 5th podcast? What's going on?
So we don't even know what to call this one yet. It's episode 1 of whatever the fuck this is. It's kind of like a special review show or a reaction show.
It should be whenever there's something too big to ignore, we both take it, you know?
It's kind of like that. If you and I both see the same like blockbuster film that's coming out whenever,
we should make an effort to do that more.
Like Star Wars, or like what we're about to talk about today, Marvel's Black Panther.
Yeah, like when there's something too big to ignore, when it's like a movement and we both are like, dude, this is the next Marvel film. Yeah. Like Age of Infinity, we're gonna do this.
Age of Infinity.
And
Good
Age
one,
of
Paul.
Infinity, Avengers, Age of Infinity Wars. When that comes out, we should do this again. When the next Marvel, like when it's like a Marvel movie, when it's something that's gonna get us a lot of views, let's do that. When it's like a big Netflix show, it's like, come on, we gotta do this. On top of everything else.
Yeah. So Paul and I will probably work on a better name. For right now, I'm calling it the Whatnauts React. So we do have a space theme for our stuff. I'm wondering if we go with like the Reactor or like something.
Yeah, or
like
I
that.
could show I could draw the computer screen in like cool comic book style. And then it's like it's like a computer screen. It says like warning, like the Whatnauts react, exclamation point. But it's like all in like digital,
something
it's like really
like
cool
that.
and shiny.
For now, I kind of threw together a real quick kind of purple background thing. If you're watching this on the YouTubes, it says the Whatnauts react, and it has a little spaceship back there. And it's purple.
Vote.
It's kind of sweet. It's pretty.
We should
cool.
have a vote. If you want to call it the Circle of Life.
No, we're not calling it the Circle of Life. That makes no sense.
At the Whatnauts, just do hashtag Circle of Life. If you want to do Circle of Life.
No.
And then if you want to call it the Whatnauts Reacts, React, hashtag Whatnauts React, and we'll count them. And whoever has them,
we'll come up with a better name.
It could be 500. It could be 5. It doesn't matter.
We'll come up with a better name.
We'll vote and we'll count. And it's gonna be called the Circle of Life. And the intro is me singing the entire thing that I just sang.
No,
it's not shortened.
It's
terrible. The entire thing.
But like we just said, Paul and I, actually, you know what? Let's do our regular rigmarole thing that we normally do at the start of every podcast that we do.
You mean the theme song?
No, not that.
Oh.
Stop it now. I am putting my foot down.
I'm so high right now.
That's A-okay. My name is Kyle Springer.
And I'm Paul Kang.
And we are the Whatnauts.
You're goddamn right we are.
Paul is questioning his existence right now.
Who is
So we are going to be talking about Marvel's latest movie, Black Panther. We're going to be doing here is first section is going to be kind of spoiler free for everyone. That way, if you are tuning in and you haven't seen the movie yet, you can check it out, and when we
Black
get
Panther
into
dies.
a spoilery section, dies on page 632 to be exact. No, I don't even remember what page number Snape died on or whatever. Spoilers for Harry Potter, or Dumbledore or whoever the fuck.
It was weird to see Black Panther in a Harry Potter novel. However, a pleasant surprise.
No, but yeah. So we're gonna have a spoiler-free section, and then we will get into spoilers later on, but we will clearly delineate when that will happen. So if you have not seen the movie yet, you can tune out and go check it out, and then come back and watch the rest of this, or listen to the rest of this. But yeah, man, it came out just this past weekend. It is Sunday afternoon Sunday night for you, Sunday afternoon for me, but it came out on Thursday evening here in the great old US of A.
Yeah.
You're in Portugal.
Yep.
What was opening night for you, Paul?
It was probably 13th midnight.
13th at midnight. Okay.
But I only watched it like yesterday, which would be like 17th.
Gotcha. So
You know, like 2 days after it officially came out.
sounds like it came out earlier for you guys.
Yeah,
And
yeah, but
then-
earlier.
Yeah, cool. I saw it opening night. I it's funny because when I went to get my tickets for Star Wars, I bought them the day of, and the first two showings were sold out. And I was like, man, that kind of stinks. Like I usually wait for like the morning of, and I was like, well, it is Star Wars, it's a big film. It's understandable. But I saw it at like 10 that night. Black Panther, though, has been setting all sorts of records for like selling out and pre-sales and stuff like
As it
that. They're
should.
making a ton of money. I think they just passed Civil War. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know the exact numbers.
Yeah, it's like the best-selling Marvel movie.
Yeah, best-selling Marvel movie so far, which is phenomenal. But I was like, you know what?
What a
I'm hearing about all these records. I should probably check and see if I can still get tickets for opening night, because I like the experience of going opening night.
Yeah.
It's so much
romantic.
fun. Kinda, yeah. I mean, I'm typically there by myself, but that's okay.
Masturbating. Oh, Black Panther. Yes.
No. So like I checked. I think like a week before, like a week and a half, something like that. 7:00 showing was sold out. I was like, fuck, man.
Damn.
8:00 showing was sold out.
Beaver Dam.
Fuck. 9:00 showing was sold out. God damn
Goddamn.
it. Fuck it. 10:00 showing was still open. So I was
Hoover
like, oh,
Dam.
Thank God. And yeah, so I ended up still going opening night, and it was a lot of fun. What was the experience like at the theater for you, Paul? Because that's the first thing I want to talk about. The experience of actually being at the theater. I don't know what it was like for you, but for me it was awesome.
There's a super mall 5 minutes from my house. My beautiful girlfriend Sarah and I were walking there. I was smoking a joint, finishing it, and I was like, "Go buy the ticket." I was like so baked and stoned. I was like, "Just go buy the tickets, please." We had like 5 minutes left before the movie starts.
God damn it, Paul. We talked about this off mic.
Shut up. We walk in there. 2 tickets to Black Panther, please. She's like, "Here you go." It's like 5:30 p.m. Still light out. People walking around. So yeah, we go there. Walk in. This theater is like half filled. Only half filled.
Because everyone that's went and saw it already.
Half filmed. I'm looking around the audience, mostly white people.
Interesting.
Hold on a second. Hey, babe, can I finish this? All right. I just got handed a plate of food.
There you go.
Mostly white people, half filled, 5 p.m. Like,
Interesting.
Saturday.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. So the front half was completely empty, so we picked like the best spots, in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
We sit down. Starts. Watching it. A few laughs from the crowd when there's funny parts. When there's like big scenic, epic places.
Sure.
Like when they first go into Wakanda, I'm like, whoa. I was like, whoa, but mostly I was the loudest
Great
person there.
reactions there, Paul.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I
so-
want to be louder. I want to be like, but it's
Sure, but so you said the theater was kind of half empty. It was a lot of white people there for you. I find that really fascinating.
Yeah.
Because that was not the case for me.
Let's hear it.
It
Let's hear it, Richmond. Richmond, show me your power, Richmond.
So I mean, I was expecting it to be like this, but goddamn, it was an experience. It was amazing. It was so awesome. It was similar to when I went to go see Wonder Woman, and it was just a lot of women there at like grandmas, wives, daughters, little children, little girls. There's just women everywhere. It was great. For this, black people everywhere. It was amazing. And I was like, yes, these guys are so excited.
That's so
and it's one thing, like, because I think a Marvel movie is kind of the zeitgeist now, so to speak.
It's the top of the cream. It's
the cream of the crop.
You know you're getting quality.
Everyone, well, pretty much everyone likes them. Most people do. They know to expect good stuff, right? Like, oh, the next Marvel, oh, that's a big deal, you know? But to see it be one where, like, an overwhelming majority of the people there are black people, are Africans, are African Americans, there's something special, right? Like, I felt like I was in this culture that I didn't know.
Come on, yeah.
And that was exciting. I was like, I'm about to see something I've never seen before. For those of you who don't know, I'm Pasty McPale. I'm a white guy here, you know. So
I'm South Korean. I'm a little darker, but
yeah. I mean, you're a minority, so you can kind of understand a little bit more. At least if you were here in America, you're obviously out in Portugal. But still, like, it was this experience of stepping into this culture that I didn't know, which is fascinating because it's a Marvel movie. Like, that is my language. You know what I mean? Like, I live and breathe comics and TV shows and like, that's what we do here at the Whatnauts, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it was amazing. People were not only dressed up in cosplay, but they had on, like, Black Panther t-shirts and stuff that I'm sure you could get at, like, Target and Walmart and stuff like that. I saw people who were dressed up in, like, fancier clothes and, like, suits and ties and dresses and, like, nice jewelry and stuff. It was amazing. The best thing, a whole hell of a lot of people were in, like, full-on African garb. I'm not sure what you call them or what those outfits are called, but it was amazing. Like, bright patterns and colors. It was just, everyone was so hype. And just sitting there, I'm like, this is awesome. This is so good. This is so fun. Like, I like, this movie could be the absolute worst thing there is, but people were having fun. And I think that
it was a reason. It was like, give me a reason. All right, I'll give you a reason.
And I think that just elevates the whole movie to a whole nother level.
It's not just a movie; it's a movement. It's like the spearhead, you know.
Yeah. But that being said, it was a lot of fun. Spoiler free, though, Paul. What did you think of the movie? Spoiler-free thoughts.
I say this in a positive way. I was looking for flaws, and I found very, very little.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, because of course you're gonna look for flaws. You know, this is the first Marvel movie of its kind. You know, first kind of movie for a lot of stuff, and you know, of course, it's got more sharper eyes, you know, aimed at it, just because it's so different, and so, you know, planet changing. You know, of course, it's going to be highly scrutinized more than most Marvel movies. Like, do you think Marvel's Thor, The Dark World was this highly scrutinized?
Hell no.
No one gave a shit about that movie, and for good reason. It's like, all right, well, this is a Marvel. We have to remember, this is a Marvel movie. This is in the same family as Ant-Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Ant-Man is still good.
It's amazing. I love Ant-Man, but Ant-Man's a movie. This is like,
this is not.
This is like, it's like potent. It's like, you know, and yeah, it's special. What were we talking about? I'm sorry.
You are so high, it is hilarious. I was asking your thoughts on the Black Panther movie. What are the spoiler-free thoughts?
I was.
What's your spoiler-free review?
Yeah, because of the high scrutiny, I was looking for errors, and I found very little, other than pacing, which is like forgivable.
I didn't even mind the pacing.
Yeah, but I'm saying if there's a flaw, it's that. Other than that, dude, I cannot laud enough credit. It's fucking amazing. It's like a fucking amazing movie.
Yeah.
The message, the action, which very rarely do you see a classy combination of both. The acting, the representation, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was just so good. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I think for me, yeah, I absolutely loved it. I have like one or two complaints, but we'll get into that when we get into spoilers and stuff like that. So ultimately, it's not like it's a flaw that I have. It's a problem I have, but I think it's more with the MCU in general rather than this specific film. Because I have a problem. I'll say it spoiler free. I have a problem with the villains. And on one hand, they are amazing in this film. I love
some of the best villains in the Marvel universe.
Some of the best in the Marvel universe. But there's some stuff that happens that I will get into in spoilers of why I kind of thought it was a flaw. But yeah, I went in kind of not knowing where this movie would be. You and I did an episode of the Whatnauts, our regular podcast, not too long ago. Came out this weekend, actually, at the time of recording this. We're hoping to get this up ASAP. So this usually takes like a week for us to get up. I'm going to get this up like tonight if I can. But we read some of the recent comic books, and it wasn't what we thought was up to par.
No.
And we were kind of let down by that. But it was both of our first time rereading a Black Panther comic, and I think we were expecting what this movie gave us.
Yeah, it was the first time of us reading a Black Panther comic, as well as the first time of the author, the comic writer, writing a Black Panther comic.
Yeah. So what that means in short is Paul and I were looking for characters that we could relate to, characters that we saw were human, that struggled with where they were. And that's not to say that stuff wasn't in the recent comics. It was just you had to dig a little bit more there. And like Paul mentioned, it was his first time writing a comic, so he was still kind of getting used to the medium and stuff like that. But this movie really, like, it nails the characters. Like I believe in them so much.
You want them to be real.
Yeah, they are.
God
real
damn it! Let's have
me.
a Wakanda.
They are real to me. I think it nails the characters. I think it nails kind of the whole arc of the movie, especially with a lot of the Marvel movies. Since there's been so many of them now, it can be kind of hard to jump into them if you're a new viewer, right? Like Captain America Civil War, though technically that's only the third like Captain America movie, you need to know like 13 other movies to understand the nuance of what's happening in that
crazy.
film. And yeah, and in that sense, like, that's kind of reflective of comics, but it's hard to get into. This being, I don't know how, like 18 something movies in on the MCU, you can jump into this and you don't need to know anything else. And I think that's awesome. That's
Masterful.
So special. Yeah.
Masterful. You can take this, put it in a DVD, give it to anybody, and they'll enjoy it.
Yeah. And I think that's also another thing that's really awesome about this film. I think another thing, there's so much good with this film. It's you mentioned that you didn't like the pacing. I thought the pacing was fine. Or at least I didn't see it as like this. You're not gonna like the pacing because the pacing is really bad. Like I feel like saying the pacing was a problem is stretching to find something.
I don't think it was a problem. I did not get bored at all. I was more just like, if there is a flaw, because I want to be fair. Pacing, sure, but other than that, dude, I love the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
That opinion was mostly made by like I was looking online, people like pacing, and I was like, okay, like, and I thought about it. I was like, maybe. So.
Yeah, potentially. I think. Good God, there's just so much to talk about.
Where to fucking start?
Yeah.
Right?
It kind of gives you an origin story, but not necessarily T'Challa's origin story. I mean, it basically does, but it tells you what you need to know. It gets off, it gets running, it gets right into the action. I feel like there's a lot of great action. There's a lot of good fight scenes and stuff like that. Maybe if I'm kind of digging, this movie is very heavy on computer effects and stuff like that. Like,
sure.
Computer animation, and it gets kind of obvious at times, or like the green screen in the background and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
But goddamn, this movie is beautiful. Like, the colors are gorgeous. The pattern, like, they go all in. Now, I want to ask you something, Paul. Because a while ago, I think we were talking about Black Panther with another podcast that you and I got to guest on. It's the Kugali podcast, and they're kind of a comics center, like a comic-centric podcast, but focusing on African comics and stuff like that. So we got to talking about the Black Panther movie coming up, because I think there were some like actor announcements around that time, and they were kind of worried that Wakanda kind of sits more, if I'm not mistaken, sits more like West Africa.
Okay.
And they were kind of saying, well, these actors are kind of from all over, and they have all different kinds of accents and stuff like that, and you can tell this person has an East African accent and all of that stuff. And they were kind of like, not necessarily worried, but just like, that's interesting. Like, that, if they're from West Africa, shouldn't they have like a West African accent and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Seeing this movie now, I disagree.
Why?
Because what this movie speaks to is a lot of, and it's something that I know nothing about since I'm Pasty McPale here.
I think you know.
But I'm. Bottom line is I'm white, so I like Black and African culture, or African American culture is not mine.
No.
And I think it speaks to African culture, Black culture, African American culture, not only African American culture, but Blacks and Africans all over the world, and just what their culture is. And I think that's why this movie is doing so well. Like, this is, not only do we not see like a movie with an all black cast like this, or mostly, but it, like, this is all of their culture. That's what Wakanda represents. It is all of them.
Yeah. Well, Wakanda is like of many tribes, all different, and it's like it's an opportunity to be like, look at the best of Africa has to offer.
Yes, and it has this message behind it that's like, look, we're not necessarily this third world country that you think we are. We
call us savages.
Yeah, we have rich traditions and stories and all sorts of things that you don't have. And I think, or at least that you don't value, right? And that's looking at me. This is stuff that like we don't value as much, or we take for granted.
Yeah, it's a way of being like, Wakanda is if you took an African country and you gave it like Western like natural resources. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like not that Africa doesn't have natural resources, but like it's like we're just as smart as you. Look what you can do with this technology.
Yeah.
You know,
and
you think we're savages? No, we're just lacking in this like we're just stuck in a bad place. You know, geographically.
Yeah, it's neat because this film. One thing that I was not expecting is that this film has as much of its politics on its sleeve as it. Like I knew it was going to be political, and there was going to be some stabs in there that as to what's happening in the world today, but there's talks of colonialism and colonization and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, like that was more than I was expecting. Like I was expecting them to like take a shot at America now, and that's it.
Sure. But you got to understand, like South Africa, apartheid, that was like what, 10, 15, 20 years ago? That was colonialism.
It was like
that was colonialism.
30, yeah.
That was white people subjugating black people 20 years, like just like insanity, or 30 years. You know what I mean? Like it's fresh on the memory for them.
Yeah.
For us, it's
enough,
like, oh yeah, they're colonists 200 years ago. It's like, shut the fuck up. They're still around.
Funny enough, I was reading some older Green Lantern comics, and there's an issue where John Stewart, Green Lantern, gets mixed up in South Africa and the apartheid stuff. The hair, and how Jordan comes, and there's this big fight, and it's this big crazy thing. But yeah, like I looked at when this comic was published, and it's like 91.
Yeah,
it's like fuck, man. Like that's like I was
fresh
1 year
on their memory, man.
Yeah, like
that's fresh in their memory.
It's still happening. So to see those conversations and like, do we open up our borders? You know, do we want to be tainted by the outside world? There's one scene where a character says something to that effect, where it's like, wow, I really didn't expect you to say that, because that it seems kind of counter to what you're working for today, right?
Sure.
Where he's like, I don't think we should open up our borders. Like we don't want to be tainted and infected, by these people who want to just take advantage of us and what we have to offer. I was like, whoa.
They want to bomb us. They want to steal our resources and bomb us.
Yeah, and I was like, God damn.
I don't really know what they're talking about. I haven't heard that kind of rhetoric in a while. But
wake up, Paul Kang, or move back to America, or don't. But yeah, like that. I was like, whoa, like they're having that conversation, and it's coming from that country, too. It's coming from Wakanda, and I was like, that was a deep cut even for me. Because I didn't expect them to relate themselves to America and being like, we don't want to open up our borders to people who are lazy and steal our resources and our jobs and who just want to kill us. And I was like, God damn, like that. It was so surprising that I became that much more interested in,
like
in
they went
layers that are within this film. Like this film can totally be a blockbuster popcorn film. Just watch it, have a good time, see all the cool effects and stuff. But there's so much more to this movie than meets the eye.
I remember sitting at the theater like connecting the dots, and I was like, this could be a metaphor for this and this and this.
Exactly.
And I was like, this is so fucking well written. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, like there's so many layers, and they just decided to go there. They didn't have to. They didn't have to include that line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they did, because they were like, I want to talk about this. I want to generate this conversation.
I think kind of last thing before we move on to spoilers, I do want to touch on the villains again. We get Claw, Ulysses Claw, and then we get Killmonger, and they are amazing.
You buy it.
They are both fantastic. And one thing that they do that's really great is they pull a Magneto. Everyone looks to Magneto, especially in the Marvel and X-Men universes, because he is a villain that is relatable. He has a point. He grew up during the Holocaust and saw firsthand how terrible people are, how terrible white people can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we are better than them. We are the next evolutionary step. We need to, be better than them. We are better than them. And everyone's like,
I'll say this. It can be boiled down to one sentence. We're protecting ourselves.
Yeah. And so he, like, Magneto has that aspect of him. He's like, you're not wrong, but you're going about this in the wrong way. And that's exactly what they do with Killmonger. And it's fantastic.
I vote him as like the best villain that I buy, who earned my respect and fear.
Yeah.
To Killmonger in the Marvel, more better than Ultron. Because that's not hard.
That's not a comparison at all. The one best villain besides these guys in the MCU is Loki right now.
Yeah.
And even then, Loki flip-flops. Like, he'll help him out here and there. Yeah. He's the god of mischief. He's not really evil, even though he's killed a whole bunch of people. He's just causing mischief. Not that killing people is excusable. That's not what I'm saying. But
well, I think
flip-flops.
The best villains have daddy issues. Loki and Killmonger.
Yeah, true. Well,
but like,
maybe
it's like the reason I brought up Ultron is because it's like I did not fear an all-knowing, omnipotent AI more than I feared Killmonger. You know what I mean? It felt more earned. Like, you voted, you kind of wanted to see him. You know, like, you understood why he did it,
and that's the thing. Ultron in the comics can easily have that too. He was created by Hank Pym in the comics, and he has that thing where, like, this is my creator. Like, I like, he, he's the one that gave me life. I'm ever thankful and in your debt. So it's possible to have that, right? But for the most part, from what I've seen, especially in the MCU, in the movies where they changed that up, it didn't work.
Yeah, Killmonger worked though. Man,
works
I liked
beautifully. Him. And Andy Serkis as Claw.
Oh,
he fucking loved that role. He knocked it out of the park. So good.
Do you know what I love the most about his role?
What's that?
Ever since late '90s till like now, they've always tried to have villains be like calculating and cold and like smart.
Yeah.
And I just loved how Andy was like, "Fuck that! I'm just gonna go like '80s, '70s, '60s bad guy and be like a madman, like literally loose cannon." Like,
he felt like a mercenary bad guy straight from like an 80s movie, from like Die Hard or something.
You know what he is? He's a frat boy. He like represents the white frat boy who's like, dude, I got a new gun. Check it out. Oh my god, did you see that? I made it rain, bro.
Yeah.
He's a frat boy. That's a frat line. He represents the worst of white Americans.
He does. I'm kind of hesitant to say frat boy because he kind of does have a certain edge to him that I don't see in like frat boy culture and stuff like that. But you're absolutely right. Like, I mean, he does have this one line in there. It's like, oh my god,
I made it rain.
I made it rain. And you're just like,
he
oh
represents
god.
the worst of the white people.
Oh god, yeah. So, I think they did their villains phenomenally.
Oh
though.
man, it was so fun. It just makes the story better. You're like,
Yeah.
yes, it feels fucking earned.
It really does.
A story has to be earned, and earned that shit.
Yeah. So for now on, I think Paul and I are going to get into spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie yet, go watch it. What the hell are you waiting for?
What's your problem, man?
Go see it. Go see it twice, and then come back and listen to the rest of this, because from now on we will be getting into spoilers. Yeah. Let's spoil the fuck out of this, Paul.
This is totally coincidental. I'm not saying anything, but I'm literally drinking grapefruit soda right now. I don't know. I'm not saying anything.
Oddly racist of you, Paul.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, like, that's my drink of. I just grabbed it. I'm just looking at it right now. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
No. Let's spoil the fuck out of this movie here. I mentioned the villains. Let's keep talking about the villains here. Killmonger's fucking incredible. They do something fantastic with his story. The idea that he is the forgotten prince, like he is the son that Wakanda left behind.
The forgotten, dishonored,
just discarded.
cousin,
the
cousin
the
of
dirty
the,
secret
of T'Challa.
And yeah, like when he comes back and he's like, I want the throne, and
he has a right to it. He has a right to it.
And you're just like, fuck, man, like that. Just without a doubt, he is the rightful heir.
It's. I mean, his father was.
It doesn't really say who was born first, per se.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things like that. Yeah, like he has a legitimate claim to the throne, and you sit there and you're just like, oh shit, this is not gonna be good.
Royal blood, man.
This is trouble.
How much bigger does it get in the human drama?
Yeah.
How much bigger? We're dealing with kings. It doesn't get bigger, son.
And and that's the thing. He has every right to what he is doing, but then what he's doing, you absolutely do not want to root for him.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you
like,
understand.
You do and you don't. Like, you want to root for him because you're just like, well, yeah, you're right, dude. They did a fucking horrible thing to you. You have every right to do what you're doing. Get yours.
Yeah, and not just that, but
I
it's
mean?
like, not just that, but he's like, these people are being tortured and oppressed every day. I'm just giving them the tools they need to
help them out,
to equalize.
Yeah.
Which is a very understandable thing.
He has the plight of like the modern kind of black man today.
Totally. He's almost an icon of, the tortured black male. You know what I mean? Like the epitome, you could say, of just like his story is tragic, and it's almost iconic.
But he's still a king, is the thing, and it's just like God. Or he could be, right? Like it's beautiful. He did amazingly well in.
He's like Kofu in Lion King too.
That.
Yeah.
And I think the team of him and Claw, Killmonger and Claw, were wreaking havoc, and it was great. I loved it.
Oh my god.
Probably one of my favorite aspects of the movie. However, do you want to know what my flaw with the movie is?
Oh, here we go, hater.
They killed them both.
I know.
They killed them both. That's that's the thing. Like,
no, man.
I think Killmonger's arc especially was beautiful. They ended it so well that it, like, just by itself, it's fantastic. But the MCU has a problem, a very obvious one, with its villains. They're not as bad as they need to be. They're not as fear-inspiring as they should be.
Yeah.
That's what Ultron should be. That's
Yeah.
what Loki should be. I mean, he is at times, but like, that's what Thanos should be. But we still haven't seen enough of Thanos to actually fear him yet. Unless you know the comics, but these aren't the comics.
He's a meme right now. He's a meme.
Exactly. He looks like fucking Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
And
He's
like
purple.
And it's, you have two great villains. And I would love to see
They killed
more
the most
of them.
relevant villains that they've ever had.
And they kill him.
They're
and it's
relevant.
Like, no. Imagine if imagine Killmonger going away and raising
Bringing
up his
armies.
own army. Yeah, like having this constant threat to Wakanda that is out there, that is, you know, bumping into Bucky or running into Captain America, you know, or T'Challa's like, hey, Cap, I need your help. Killmonger is back, and we need to, you know, do like that'd be fucking awesome.
I mean, they could have done it so easily. Killmonger, like, there's a scene at the airport where it's like, you know, they land. Killmonger could have just been like, hey, I'll see you guys later, bye. And they're like, all right, peace, bro. You know?
Yeah, it just...
Instead of fucking shooting him, they could have been like, hey, I'll see you guys later. You're a dick, but later. All right, bye. All
Yeah.
right. Literally, it could have been that simple. That line, I would have bought it. Like, hey, I'm going to go now and do murder. I'll be back later.
Well, I don't think I would have bought that exactly, but just the idea that, yeah, like, okay, I lost this battle, but I haven't won the war yet.
Yeah.
You better be ready for next time. And it's just like, God damn it, for that third Black Panther movie when he comes back and it's fucking all-out war, that would have been great. That would have been fucking amazing.
I mean, it's just like, you had two. You can easily kill one, milk enough drama from that,
Like,
and save the other one for later. Put the other one in storage.
And I, like, that's the thing. Like, they could have killed off Claw and kept Killmonger, and I would have been okay with that. Still, I would be like, it sucks, because Andy Serkis was phenomenal in that role, and he was obviously enjoying it immensely.
Oh, my God. So much fun.
But yeah, but that's kind of my one gripe with the film. It was like, come on, guys. Like, come on. But, yeah, I thought that was fantastic. Did you have a favorite scene or a favorite moment within this film?
Oh my God, man, that's like saying what's your favorite child?
You know? What was your favorite child? There is T'Challa and Shuri and Killmonger. And
It's not one scene. It's like every scene with Shuri, his sister.
Shuri is fantastic.
Stole the show. Every time she's on screen, she's like, "Get the fuck out of my scene, bitches! This is my fucking scene. Get off, please." Like, I was like, "Yes, queen!" Like, literally, queen. Like, you know. And I love that she, like, what better message to give to everybody, but especially, you know, like young, you know, black girls. Like, hey, you can be a fucking engineer, scientist.
And a fucking warrior.
Yeah.
And a queen.
You can look gorgeous.
And a princess.
You can look fly. You can be a goddess. And you can also fucking use your mind to better your fucking environment. Like, what? Is there a better message? There isn't.
Yeah.
You know?
For those of you who are listening to this right now and you're interested in becoming a reader of the comics, there is a short period of time where T'Challa leaves and Shuri becomes the Black Panther for a short time, if I'm not mistaken. So you can look it up if you're a big fan of Shuri.
Yeah. I just loved her interaction with her brother. Like, you bought it. You're like, yeah, they're siblings. They grew up together. And
amazing chemistry.
Yeah. And like, I love when she was like, kick the suit, strike the suit.
She's just setting them up.
Yeah, and he kicks it across the room, and I'm like, bitch, I'm the Black Panther. I've stopped cars in midair. Like, what do you mean strike?
You told me to kick it. You're like, great. I think some of the funniest moments came from her. Just how much fun she was having, making all of the tech that the Black Panther uses.
She's the James Bond's M. Is that James Bond's?
Moneypenny is the handler. Q makes all the tech.
Q. She was Q. And like it was like I was like, oh man, it's like a James Bond movie because the way they set it up. There's an evil villain that wants to take over the world. It's a Bond movie. There's an evil villain who wants to take over the world. There's a spy with a good heart, roguish nature. Q, he's like, here's all the things you're gonna need for your mission.
That is an interesting way to look at this film.
Moneypenny, the person he loves, but he can never get close to, because he got to keep her professional. His mom is M.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Bond movie. This is a fucking Bond movie.
So you bring up Bond. Let me ask you this: did you get a Star Wars vibe?
I did, dude.
I did too, and the people sitting next to me mentioned
man.
it. The people sitting next to me was like, dude, that felt like Star Wars at times.
Like when they showed like Wakanda at street level?
Yeah.
That was fucking Star Wars.
Part of that, yeah. Which is partly, where Star Wars pulls from, just those like thick markets of just people crawling everywhere, and it's this mix of like technology and things like kind of run down and dirt and tribal. Steel and like it's crazy. And the ships, there was a couple of them that looked like the Millennium Falcon.
I would have given that fucking movie to Ryan Coogler, not Ryan fucking Johnson.
But like
wrong Ryan Disney, wrong Ryan.
Yeah. That would be fantastic. But like it was more than just the visual stuff. It was also kind of the magic that I felt and the kind of storytelling that is there. And it's not so much this like good versus evil thing that Star Wars has, dark versus light, but it was just it was kind of the magic of the atmosphere.
Wakanda is real. Wakanda forever, man. It's like you bought it.
And I think something that can give us that magic moment or moments that Star Wars has done for so many people. Right? That pay attention to that.
It's like
right
those
there.
little moments where it's like the wide shot and then you see the rhino. Like that felt so magical and Star Warsian.
Yeah, and just that whole side note, where the fuck did those rhinos even come from when he called them? They like burst out of the ground. They didn't come riding over the hill. They came out of the ground.
I don't give a fuck, man. This is Wakanda. They wipe the toilet paper is like your cell phone, man. It's like fuck off, man. Don't get
anyways.
There was a hill.
But that scene where I think her name is Okoye or Okoya. It's
Goddess.
I don't remember her
Goddess forever.
The character's name, but the
Okoye.
Dora Milaje general that is Michonne on The Walking Dead. When she steps in front of the rhino, fucking badass.
Scary,
like
fierce,
and that
she Beyonce
also felt like Star Wars to me too. Just fierce. To have this kind of giant creature in the midst of this battle, and this person who is almost like a Jedi, right? Like step in front and just be like, be still. Yeah. Except she doesn't even say that. She just stands there. Yeah, and steps in front at the last minute, and it just screeches to a halt. And then big lick, big kiss on the face, and it's like, okay.
that one shot did more for feminism than all these hashtags. Just kidding. Than all this, but like yes, sister.
I don't know about that,
yes.
but like
you are brave. You are gorgeous.
This movie does so much in terms of having strong female characters who are still arguably in a subservient role, but are still some of the most strongest, just the most badass people there. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like the whole the scene between the same character Okoye, and again, I don't remember her name. The one that Black Panther is in love with.
Lupita Nyong'o's character. There's so many names, and it's not Jill and John. It's like Okoye.
Yeah, which I mean,
Mbaku.
Which is fine. Like their names aren't hard to say. It's just that I don't remember. And that's always the one thing. Like it's not like I don't remember what the fucking Mbaku. Like no, that's ignorant. But like the scene between those two, where they're like, "Our king is dead. We need to go
right fucking now,
and we need to take the throne back from Killmonger. We need to start an insurrection thing, you know." And she's fucking torn.
Yeah.
Her character, Michonne's character. What's that actress's name?
I don't know. She Michonne to me. She Okoye to me.
Yeah,
she's above.
Michonne let's see. Michonne from The Walking Dead. I'm looking it up on Dr. Google. Come on. Denai Guerrera. I butchered that name. But yeah, her character, I kind of went back and forth on how I felt about her character. Because of, and I think the moments that I look to is that scene where she's torn. She's like, I serve the throne.
Oh, I was
for
crying.
Better or for worse. Who's on there? And yeah, like she's obviously torn, but you're just like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake. Please don't. You know, and like you liked her up until then, and for me, I kind of didn't like her after that. And I was just like, God damn it! Like,
I liked her more.
Why did you make that move? And yeah, like, don't get me wrong. She's obviously torn, and I respect her immensely for making that move.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck! It takes a certain strength to be able to hold that position.
No, but see that scene, what that one thing of dialogue does is it gives her an arc.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, and it's awesome.
If she didn't have that, she'd just be like a monolith. Like, I kill people and I'm a badass bitch.
True.
You know what I mean? It gave her an arc. It made her decide between her lover, you know, and duty and friendship and loyalty. You know, like it gave her an arc, and I was like, yes, you know.
Yeah.
Even for her, like, and it's a big arc, you know.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. But the fact that she stayed there, I was like, no, don't do that. Like, come on. And then I, like, in the back of my mind, I kind of had this, well, I don't like her as much now. Like, she made a decision that I wouldn't have made. But then by the end, like that big fight scene when everything is going down and everyone's fighting, and she steps in front of that rhino, and when
risks it all.
When Black Panther comes back, and she's just immediately like, our king is alive, you know, and she like, fuck yes. I was like, she's back, baby. And I was like, I love her. She's amazing.
No, but see, like, I can totally see what was happening though.
Yeah, and it's great.
But like I think her stance is defensible.
Oh, sure. 100%.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, from
though
birth,
I didn't like it.
She is of the royal guard. You know what I mean? Like, she does not serve her emotions. She serves Wakanda.
Exactly, and I think that's what's so respectable. But it's one of those things that's like, I wouldn't have made that decision.
Well, that's because you're not. That's because you're not the general.
Well, exactly. Exactly. I'm never gonna be that badass in my entire
you're not
life.
The general, the Dora Milaje.
In any of my lives and multiple dimensional versions of me combined, I'm never gonna be that badass.
That fierce.
But yeah, like, and even though I may not, like, I started to kind of resent her decision a little bit, It's one of those things. It's like, yeah, like that also at the same time made her one of my favorite characters, because she's like, for better or for worse, I serve the throne.
Ooh,
whoever is on there.
And
But you can tell she's just heartbroken. She knows I do not agree with the king, like, or with this guy who's now sitting on the throne, and I hate it. But I have to do my job anyways, because that's what I have to do.
More drama in that Pinky.
It's one of those things, like, even if you look at it in like today's like scenario and stuff like that, a lot of people just want to kind of quit and give up because things are bad, right? Politics are not what we want them to be. Politically, America is not where America wants it to be, except for a certain person,
Yeah.
And it's
there's no loyalty.
And I think a lot of people just want to give up. And yeah, there's no loyalty in the sense of, this is my country and I'm going to serve it no matter what. And I think she holds a position that is very admirable, right? Of just like, for better or for worse, I'm going to be here and I'm going to make a difference this way.
I'll fix it from the inside.
I mean, yeah, that's one way to look at it. Yeah, but like, it's this thing, like, I still have a duty to my country, and if I quit now, the country that I serve and love is going to fall apart.
Yeah, it's better with me than without me.
Yeah.
No matter how much it hurts. And that's
even
that's
if
an
there's
ideal
some
that not a lot of people
guy on even if there's someone in a position of power that we don't like we still need to be active in this. And I think it's another one of those super insightful and amazing just pieces of insight that this movie has.
Yeah, like the Kennedy quote, like, ask not what this country can do for you, ask what you can do for this country. You know?
Yeah.
Really cool.
I think we got a little bit off track, because I was asking what your favorite moment was, and you mentioned any of your moments with Shuri. For me,
if you want one moment, it would be hanging out with like the Gorilla King.
Okay. With M'Baku. Now, side note, before I mention my favorite moment, was M'Baku one of the characters we saw in the comics? Was he the dude that died? Spoilers for the recent Ta-Nehisi Coates' run, volumes like 2 and 3.
Yeah.
There was a character that died, and Black Panther captured his brother and like locked him up, and they had this really awesome conversation. At least I thought it was awesome, where he's arguing that Black Panther is like not doing what he should do as a king, and he's dishonoring his brother and stuff like that. And then like T'Challa comes back and he's like, it's actually not what you think. I'm honoring him by doing this because your brother was a warrior. Was that brother that died, was that M'Baku?
I'm not sure.
I think it was.
Was it? All I know is that M'Baku is representing a character already in the novels, the white gorilla,
Yeah. I didn't go back and look, but I was like, I've heard that name before,
M'Baku,
and I think it was in the comics. But anyways, my favorite moment is actually the mid-credit scene. Believe it or not, I fucking love. I mean, I love the entire movie, but I think that middle credit scene, there's a mid credit scene and an end credits scene.
# Bucky.
And the mid credits one, he's having that like press conference, and he's like, we're going to be opening up our borders, sharing our knowledge and our technology, and it's just it's a powerful moment for him to be like, this is all like, not really, but it's almost his first like major act as king, right? We're changing things. We've made mistakes in the past. we've kept to ourselves, but we have so much to offer, and we're gonna share it with you from now on. And I think it's powerful, even for today's culture, like not having very many like black-led movies, right?
Sure.
Or like an all-black cat. Like we're starting to get some of that stuff, right? And they're killing at the box office. They're doing amazing, you know? And it's like we're about to start showing you what we're made of. And it's just like, oh, this is so good. But then he takes it a step further, and he's like, look, in times of crisis, wise men build bridges. The foolish build walls. And it's just like, oh, there it is.
Why's my tongue in my cheek?
Yeah. Ooh. Very tongue-in-cheek, but that was the, like, it was one of many moments where like I heard snaps. It was just like, I mean, like, yes, there it is.
I mean, you literally have Trump. Hey, I mean, King T'Challa is the antithesis of everything that is Trump.
Basically.
Young.
Black.
Yeah.
His country has always been
intelligent,
great, whereas America has
sexy,
not been.
Intelligent, well-mannered, has a nobility to himself.
Yeah.
Rich but does not flaunt it. In fact, hides his country to protect it, rather than expose it to, I don't know, North Korea with threats.
That scene ends on another poignant moment where someone in the audience is like, "But you're a third world country.
You're black.
What do you have to offer us?" And he doesn't even respond yet. It cuts off before he responds, but he just gets this smirk.
That smirk.
And, like, he just gets this
like, oh wait,
just you wait and see. Yeah, you know. And it's just
look
like,
how I'm
yes,
dressed, bitch.
Yes,
Wakanda.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, like you know what Ryan Coogler did for us, because he wrote it as well, not just directed it. He gave us what we're all hoping for. We need a savior right now. We need a hero. We need someone who is wealthy, in power, but it has a heart of gold. We all want that, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think we're so obsessed with Elon Musk? Why do you think we're so obsessed with like Mark Zuckerberg and all? Because we want a hero. We're like, God damn it! Just this. Look how much shit is going on. We want a hero.
Yeah.
You know, someone who's relevant, someone who represents all the best of us, no matter what race or creed. We want a hero, and instead we have shit. We have Trump, and it's like T'Challa. Everyone watching that was like, "Oh my God, there he is! Like he's the guy we've been waiting for."
Yeah, 100%.
And does it sell a lot of tickets at the box office? Sure, but but what it also does is it instills hope. Like who among you will fucking stand up and be this for us?
Yeah.
You know? I got chills when he's giving that speech. I was like crying and shit. I was really high. But I was getting chills. I was like, yes, like this. Why can't more leaders say these kinds of words and actually mean it?
Yeah.
You know?
Most of them don't even say that.
It really bothers me.
They won't even go that far to just say like, "Hey, we need to, start making this place better."
Yeah, actually, I do have my favorite scene, and it's actually unexpected, but this is actually my favorite scene. It's actually my favorite scene in the movie. In a movie like filled with tsunamis of great scenes.
Yeah,
it was when Michael B. Jordan's character Killmonger goes on his acid trip. And like, it's
with his dad. There.
Yeah, because you go to your ancestors.
So sad.
Right? In the acid trip, you go to your ancestors, and so like with T'Challa, he went to this beautiful, like mystical.
It almost looks like the Lion King with that
it
one.
Was heaven. It was heaven.
Tree there, all the former Black Panthers there. Yeah,
It was where your ancestors are supposed to be, where their final resting place. which has a significance all of its own. Like, there's so many African legends and tribes and myths all about this. The homeland and.
He goes back to Oakland.
Yeah, because his father is a ghost there.
It's his father's apartment. Yeah.
It's his father's final resting. He's a ghost. He was a ghost in a foreign land. If that's not symbolism, I don't kill yourself. Like
don't do that. But
that's another one of those poignant moments. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh my God, this represents so much.
Yeah.
This
and
person who, a stranger in a foreign land, his soul is now forever. He cannot go back home. Like, dude, how much more poignant can you get? Like,
yeah.
Crazy
stuff, man.
Yeah.
What happens next? Let me ask you that. Well, we'll wrap up with that. What do you think happens next?
I thought the movie was gonna go like. I thought there were gonna be like tons of mercenaries like invading. Like I thought they were gonna show a big circle, showing like tons of armies invading.
Mm-hmm.
And like for some reason the Wakandan force fields would go down, and you could see it from the sky. And like you'd see like thousands of soldiers like in trucks like descending on it, and you see smoke and dust. I thought it was gonna be like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like they didn't have that. They had a kick-ass fight scene, of course, but then like it ended, and I was like, oh, they're gonna do that for the second movie, and I was like, oh, who better to bring out than Killmonger? And I was like, wait, they killed him, or not Killmonger, but the white guy, Andy Serkis' character.
Oh, they killed him too.
Yeah,
Claw.
Yeah, Claw, and I was
Claw.
like, I can totally see Claw on a Humvee, like shooting the 50 cal, screaming with a bandana, like fuck Wakanda, like.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to see that, and they killed him off. Like, wouldn't that be amazing? Like such a great shot. You have all these Wakandan robots like shooting the fucking like energy blasters at the.
But
that I think it's gonna go there, like an attack on Wakanda. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think that would be legit.
Someone actually trying to conquer it, since it's never been conquered.
Yeah, and it makes sense because at the end of the movie, he's like, "Hey, we're willing to share our resources. Why not have like Russia or whatever be like, we're gonna fucking take all that shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna take that vibranium. They're like, fuck you, you're savages. We're gonna take it all. We're white." So I can kind of see it going there, and I think that'd be so cool to watch.
Interesting.
From a cinematic point of view.
Interesting. I'm wondering if this goes the route of the recent comics of Ta-Nehisi Coates' stuff, especially in light of Avengers Infinity War.
Exactly.
Because we don't know exactly what's going to happen in those Avengers films. We know the Black Panther and the Dora Milaje will all be there because we've seen them in the trailers, but we don't know exactly what that means. And like, is there's been talk of like some kind of reboot, relaunch time thing? Who knows what? So is the Black Panther gonna go off and fight Thanos in between this and Black Panther 2? And something happens where when he comes back, his nation is now crumbling underneath him because he hasn't been there.
I mean, you gotta follow the breadcrumbs, man.
I don't know. Like I'm wondering if that's it, or I don't know, because I'm not familiar with like Black Panther villains, so I don't. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be this guy, or maybe it'd be really neat if they could do that dude, So
yeah,
I don't know, but maybe that's where it'll go. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? That being said, go watch the film if you have not already. It's fantastic. Go see it again.
We only touched on a few topics, to be honest.
Yeah, there's so much more that you can dive into with this, but we hope you enjoyed listening. If you did and you want to throw us a couple dollars for what we do here at the Whatnauts, you can head down to patreon.com/the Whatnauts and you can throw us a buck. We do 2 podcasts the Whatnauts, which is kind of a weekly book club style show. Each week, Paul and I will pick a new topic. We will read it, we'll watch it, we'll come back here and we will discuss it. And then we do a second show called The Captain's Log. And each week, Paul and I, since we're best friends, we just get to catch up and talk about whatever the fuck we want and get into all kinds of mischief that we don't normally get to on our regular show. And this has been still yet to be formally named
The Circle of Life.
No, the Whatnauts Reactor, something like that. Who knows?
Circle of Life. Hashtag Circle of Life. You want that to win.
No. But yeah, so if you guys want to throw us $1 for what we do here, that would be awesome. If not, that's a-okay, as long as you enjoy what you are listening to or watching on YouTube. We are on YouTube. You can find us. Just search the Whatnauts podcast, and we will come up. We're on Apple Podcasts as well, as you can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
This will be up on our feed. We only have one like iTunes and YouTube feed, so this will be up there with all the rest of this stuff. You don't have to go fishing for the rest of it. But yeah, man, we hope you enjoyed. And with that, my name is Kyle Springer,
and I'm Paul Kang,
and we are the Whatnauts.
Goddamn right we are. Wakanda forever.
Adios, guys.
Bye. Hey Kyle.
Go. What's going on, Paul Kang? How are you doing? Oh, goodness. It's going to be another one of those ones. We don't even know what to call this yet. We're not even sure.
In the of the planet, reaching into the sun, and all the sea. I have the sun, what to do, I can never be done. Blah, 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 is more to see that can never be seen, or to do that can never be done. It's a circle of the Black Panther, and it moves a shoulder. Hey guys, it's me, Paul, from the Whatnauts.
I was just letting you go.
What's your name?
I don't even know what to call this thing yet. We haven't really even decided on.
Let's call it the Circle of Life.
No.
The Circle of Life.
Because that has nothing to do with this.
I smoked the biggest joint right now. I am so ready to go. I've got my Korean food. I've got my Fanta. Sarah was just like, that's not for you, sweetie.
Damn.
I'm ready to go.
I'm going to snatch that back.
Oh my god, I'm so baked. Oh my god.
But I was talking about the name of this podcast because this is episode 1 of whatever the fuck it is.
Of life.
It will not be called The Circle of Life. It's more like a special review show or a reaction show.
Did you just tell me to shut up?
Mentally, yes. Does that mean my telekinesis powers are working? My mental telepathy? Sweet.
I think.
Sweet.
You're telling me to keep it simple, Paul.
I can tell Paul to shut up and keep it simple telepathically now. This is perfect.
Right.
This is
what great.
This is what I've needed my entire life.